So you're looking for a gun build, and more specifically, you're looking for an Arsene build. While personally, I don't think he's the best gun persona, as I feel that title goes to Seth due to the increase in resistances that it has, but Arsene is just spiffy, and if you're like me and just want to cool Arsene, then you've come to the right place. This build will be mainly leaning on two things: critical gun damage and technical damage. Also keep in mind that if you have skill cards that you want to add to him, feel free to do so, as I am here just to show you a solid base of a build. So with that said, let's break down what our end result will be. Arsene actually learns a ton of skills innately, and only until level 95 will you finally have seen all that Arsene can do. That being said, let's actually start with the last skill he acquires, which is Riot Gun. So Riot Gun is one of the strongest skills in the game with a high crit chance, similar to, well, one-shot kill. And the only difference is that one-shot kill takes less HP and has a smaller range. So if you don't feel like you need the bigger range of Riot Gun, feel free to use one-shot kill, as that might save you 10%. Then after that, he does learn a variety of curse skills, but since Alice is just superior in the curse element, it feels redundant to put any curse skill on him. So in place of his curse skills, I went with Rebel Soul and Survival Tricks. Now, Rebel Soul lets me build showtimes a lot quicker, and therefore it's free damage, and Survival Trick lets me cover my butt in case I slip and I fall into an insta-kill attack. However, these skills are not really vital, just the best picks out of his personal arsenal. Now onto the skills to inherit, and these are far more important. First, you need Gun Boost and Gun Amp, as they are just damage increases. Then I believe you will benefit from Knockdown Style, as when you're fishing for those crits, that will lower the boss's armor, and that is always a good thing. Lastly, Technical Adept is great for just more damage when technical situations allow it. Now that we know what is in the build, let's help you actually get there. Before we break down what you need, I need to drop a quick disclaimer, and that is that I will be using my Yoshitsune from our previous video, as he contains Technical Adept and Knockdown Style. So if you haven't seen that video, then I suggest you go and visit the link in the description below, so that way you can not only craft this build, but you would also own the strongest physical damage persona in the game. One last thing, unfortunately this is an extremely convoluted fusion path, so I do recommend saving often so you don't have to restart when a fusion goes wrong. That said, let's get into it. So our goal here is to obtain a Bugs and a High Pixie to have infused into our Arsene. And you might wonder why I have Bugs here instead of some of the other easier fusions such as Jack-O-Lantern, and the reason is that if I had picked any other persona, there were only 3 transferable skill slots as opposed to 4. So to start, you first need a Kappa Tengu at level 44, so you can learn Gun Boost, which you will transfer into a Mitra, which will lead to an Eligor, which will then lead to a Satanta, then to a Lilim, then to a Jack Frost, then you must fuse that into a Black Frost, but don't save it in your records if you've already followed my Black Frost build, then fuse that Black Frost into a Bugs. After that is where Yoshitsune comes in. You will have Knockdown Style and Technical Adept to transfer into a Seth, but make sure to level that Seth up to level 53 so you can acquire Gun Amp. From there, the fusion path goes to a Yatagarasu, then to a Mithras, then to a Valkyrie, then to a Thor, then to a Slime, and then lastly our High Pixie. Once you have both the two personas, you should be able to fuse your Arsene. Just understand, in order to completely match my build, you have to get him to level 95 at the very least, so you can obtain all of his necessary innate skills. One great thing about this build is that he is pretty low on the fusions path, so there are a lot of routes you can transfer him to, and I personally will transfer him to a Seth in an upcoming video, so stay tuned. That being said, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll leave you with a combo showcase.